I think everybody is here because I've heard from the other five. Just now heard about Arthur going cross country. So Arthur wasn't here last week. Don't believe he was here the week before. So it's going to be a month before Arthur shows up. Tara, that works at the bank, I forget what her problem was, but she'll take the test Friday. Evan, I just got an email from him. He's deathly sick with something. And he has to drive from the what? Should, but won't. No, can't move it, dear. I know Evan, he'll probably come in Friday. But he's sick. He lives in Greenbrier. And then the married couple, they had their baby. And I forgot, I didn't ask Chris, boy or girl. I just congratulated them. And I think she had a rough time. She had to have a C-section. And of course, she'll need the elevator from the basement floor for a while, or when she takes her test. So that's the other five that are missing. And of course, missed all of you last week. And in my email, that was not my fault. They shut the building down at 2:00 to work on the electricity in the whole neighborhood, whatever it was. Some kind of grid problem. All right. And William, did you watch my day video last week? The review I went over for the test. Did you, Morgan? I asked you to on the email.
I read it on my phone, but I didn't open it up. That was my fault.
Okay. Millie, did you watch that video of the day class?
Some parts. I know what's on the test, I think.
Eva, did you?
No, I couldn't.
How about you? It would have helped. I went over every.
That one, yeah, there was one that asked for a password. And when I put the password in, it didn't work.
You're not supposed to have a password.
But what, my password didn't work.
I don't know why you'd have to have a password. That's.
And the other video that was on YouTube, I watched, but that wasn't a test.
The one I wanted you to watch, I went over some journal entries from one chapter. I went over all the LIFO and FIFO, perpetual and periodic, and pretty much told everybody what was on the test and reviewed every problem.
Yeah, that one we did.
Did you get to word that you could have a page of notes?
I didn't, but they told me.
I told you that 2 weeks ago, plus I told it in the video. So all of you got a page of notes?
But like, I'm just not sure of all the problems that will be on the test because it was like the video I saw didn't have that.
Ooh.
Because the other video was locked. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, gee, I don't know whether to review with you or I wanted to start chapter 8 for the first hour and then give you the test for the last hour. Let's see, you have a book with you, William. You have a book with you. Of course, you have your book.
Yeah.
You all have 2 books, right? Okay.
So I have a question. Chapter 8 is not on the test?
No.
I see your message.
What even? You're getting this now. Chapter 8 is not on the table.
No, but the other day you sent us a message, and you said chapter 6, 7, and 8.
5, 6, 7. Or was it just 6, 7? 6, 7. No, just 6, 7. So if you third grade, that's okay. We haven't went over yet. Boy, yeah.
No, we were all stressing like, oh, chapter 8, we're not gonna do it, because we don't know anything.
No, we haven't went over chapter 8 at all. That's all I want to do. First out. Okay, what I'm going to do as a trade-off, not to review, we'll start this test at 5 o'clock.
But can you just tell us one more time what's exactly, that's the problem?
You're going to have buyer and seller journal entries for buying and selling merchandise. All right, you're gonna have 2 or 3 problems of that. You're gonna have 20 multiple choice, just different things. Now, I hope you know how to do periodic and perpetual inventory, FIFO, LIFO, average.
Like the big table.
Yeah,
Like for average.
but here's what I'll probably do. 5 o'clock, I'll get started on the test. Do you have notes, William?
I didn't make
He don't need them. I see Morgan has a page of notes, but she has more paper that she could have used. How about y'all? You have a page of notes? Carlos? No? That would help. But at 6 o'clock until 6:30, I will let you use your textbook. I'll let everybody use their textbook between 6 and 6:30. That will help you on a couple of problems maybe. Whether it's journal entries or whether it's perpetual periodic inventory, okay? All right. These chapters stand alone. You won't have any more problems whatsoever on buying and selling and that type of inventory. All right, and I lost my jump drive for this PowerPoint. This may be an old PowerPoint. Now this act that you're looking at right now, so you all give me about 45 minutes and then we'll get started on the test. But this act came about because of Enron. Their books and everything were falsified so bad. They were a top 10 company, but they went under. And you can read about that act. Other than that, now internal control is to safeguard your assets. And in this chapter, it's pretty much safeguarding cash, which is an easy asset to steal. Again, this act, just read about it. All right. The word fraud, all right, there is forgery, there's embezzlement, and there's fraud. William, what do you think fraud is?
when you try to falsify information towards your employer. Something like that.
All right. If you lied about your age to vote and got phony credentials to vote, would that be fraud? Wouldn't it? Anyhow, is the intentional act of deceiving an employer for personal gain. Fraud would be deceive the government or somebody else too. I think a lot of people commit fraud in this country to get welfare. They lie. They hide their assets or sell their assets. Okay. All right. Embezzlement is taking money without permission, of course. Usually we're talking about from an employer. And then forgery is signing somebody else's name. And a lot of people have forged the treasurer or president's name on a check to get money. That's forgery and embezzlement. Okay. So we want to protect our cash. Okay, internal control. Every business should have it. Now, Morgan, you work at McDonald's. William, you don't work, right? Now, are any of you three, are you a student worker up here?
Yeah, I work in Conley with Dr. Roberts. She works in gym and
Now, y'all don't handle cash though, do you? Okay. But Morgan at McDonald's, what control do y'all have to make sure your cash is not stolen?
We have to count drawers periodically after each person uses a drawer. They get their own drawer.
Every person. All right. Now, some places, I've got a man in my day class, and he works at, oh golly, it's just like a farm bureau. One of them down home, I can't think of the name of it right now. It's a farm supply place. But anyway, everybody uses the cash register. 5 or 6 employees use the same cash register. Now, if money was missing, you wouldn't know which one of the 5 or 6, would you? But at McDonald's, you check somebody's drawer out and you put money back in it with a new person charge. Okay. That is a form of control. Do you have cameras in McDonald's over the cash registers? That's a form of control. Okay. McDonald's don't give refunds usually on food. Okay. Huh?
Rarely.
All right. Elements of internal control: the environment, control procedures, monitoring, information communication. Now, the environment is the overall attitude of management employees about the importance of controls. Everybody needs to accept them. The cameras, the drawers, the counting the cash. Now, who counts the cash in the drawer? The manager. Who deposits the cash in the bank?
Either the managers.
Who knows how much cash that manager has before she or he takes it to the bank? The computer. All right. Did you put all this in the computer when you were making out a deposit slip or what?
Yeah, well, every time you count down a drawer, it keeps up with how much your deposit's going to be. And at the end, you take all the cash and make your deposit.
Okay, a good computer program can be internal control also. All right. Control procedures are a competent personnel, rotate duties, and mandatory vacations. Banks give mandatory vacations. There was one bank down my way where, as a loan officer, he needed to borrow $50,000. He borrowed it. He was a loan officer. He made a loan to himself. But he used 5 of his best customers and put it in their name. 5 of his best customers. Now, at the beginning of every month, he paid his payments for each of the 5 customers. But they made him take a 2-week mandatory vacation. And when he did, these customers got a bill, a statement. He was apprehending it before that. They came into the bank, and that's how they called him. He was paying it back, but he's still not doing it the right way. He might not have been approved for the loan that much, but he put it in his customer's name. Fill out an application for them. All right, so competent, rotate duties, and mandatory vacations. Now, I had a student in my night class a couple of years ago. She worked at a hospital in the county department. She received all the mail receipts, and a lot of people still send cash through the mail. And that's definitely not the proper, good, sensible thing to do. All right? Now, she could have kept that cash, threw away the envelope, and that patient had no proof that they paid the hospital. But she was an honest person, but she was to take out the money out of the mail, count the money, and make a deposit at the bank, and come back and make an accounting record. There's too many things for one person to do. Y'all think there's crooked people in churches? Are there crooked people? What? Crooked preachers, priests, whatever, or crooked deacons, crooked elders, what have you. All right, separate responsibilities for related operations. Cameras have got to be a good security measure, and computers have got to be some kind of safety measure. Warning signs of internal control problems, changing the lifestyle of a person without winning the lottery. They close relationship with the supplier, refusing to take a vacation, borrowing from other employees, or using alcohol and drugs. If you have one of those employees, now, you're the manager at McDonald's. I'm going to just guess, where in Princeton, I'm going to guess that you have to fire somebody about every week.
Pretty close.
Do what?
Pretty close.
Now, why would I guess that?
Because we only get the best of the best there.
Do what?
Because we only get the best of the best there. Check.
When you hire people, you don't give a drug test, do you? Don't give a lie detector test? Anyway, you five are probably some of the best of people your age. It's just the age between 20 and 30, there's a lot of lazy people. And a lot of people won't work, or they'll work a week or two at McDonald's to get a paycheck to buy drugs or whatever. If they don't quit, or such a sloppy worker, you fire them. Okay? But you probably have somebody coming in every day applying to work also. So you can fire somebody and hire somebody. That's probably one of your busiest things. So, but anyhow, I just know other jobs all over the country. I've got a nephew. He's too sorry to work. He's in his 20s. He'll work a while and quit or get fired. Always a human element. All right, now I want you to look at what cash is. Coins, currency, paper money, checks, and money orders. That's all cash. Okay? All right, now I'm gonna ask each of you to name 2 services that a bank offers. Millie, did you open up a bank account in this country?
Yeah.
Eva and Carlos? You did not have a bank account in this country?
No.
Do you have a bank account in your country?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What are some services a bank offers? Well, you found out a couple if you can.
Loan, transfer,
What do you mean transfer?
like between accounts, transfer money.
All right, they offer loans, small business loans, automobile loans, mortgages on a house, automobile loans or installment loans, and other personal loans, and all kinds of loans. Now, he said they'll transfer money between accounts, savings, checking, or whatever. So they do that, okay. 2 services a bank offers.
Loans was the number one I was thinking of, but we do savings accounts, they do different types of accounts, business accounts.
Well, yeah, I mentioned those 2. I was hoping you'd pick up on them. Saving and checking accounts, of course, they check it. That's one of the main reasons you go to a bank. And savings account, they have regular savings, they have money market, they have CD, and they have Christmas club savings and all that stuff, okay? Millie, did you name two services the bank offers?
I was thinking credit cards, but that's also loan, but a different kind of loan.
No, that's okay, that's different, credit cards, they
And
do
then,
sponsor credit cards, yes.
yeah, and then I was thinking, my bank has this option on the app, and they're kind of calculating my balances. So my spendings, my, whatever I do with the money, they will tell me you spend this much money on restaurants, you spend this much money on, I don't know, subscriptions or whatever, and they make me like a balance. So
Oh,
that's
so
something they
if you
offer.
write out checks, they keep a category if you wrote it out for gas or for.
Whatever I do, like whenever I swipe my card, they have this list of my spendings. So it's kind of like budgets, I don't know, like you can, with the app, they can make you a budget.
Oh,
And I really
okay.
like that option because I saw like, oh, you spent $500 this month on restaurants. And then you're like, okay, stop doing that. So it's a good op, I like that a lot.
Well, that's a good one. What bank do you go to?
Bank of America. And I didn't even like, it's just on the app, so you don't even have to sign in or anything.
Right,
They just do it for you.
well,
It's a good option.
you have to have their credit card.
I don't think so, just a debit card, just a checking.
Or debit card with Bank of America.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Eva,
Yeah, I have this, but my Spanish card. Is the,
what now?
She has the same option like me in her Spanish bank.
Okay, now Millie mentioned, credit card. But she also mentioned debit card. You use a debit card a lot. But can you name two other services, Eva, that has not been named?
I just remember. I tell her.
Yeah, you can tell.
Credit cards have cashback option.
That's what?
Cashback. So when you use your credit card, you get cash back for some shops or whatever you spend in grocery stores, you get 3% back. And then you get like some, I don't know, Victoria's Secret offers 10% cash back or something like that. That's cool.
Okay. The Discovery card has a cash back. My Wells Fargo card has a cash
And
back.
gas, 4% for gas.
My Victoria's Secret card don't have cash back.
No, but they have Bank of America
It's
has
just that special.
yeah, deals that they offer, like.
Okay, Carlos, what do you think? He thinking.
The bank can keep your money safe.
How about your bank? What kind of service does it offer?
It keeps my money safe.
Keep your money safe. You know, Carlos, most banks, and maybe in your country too, they offer safe deposit bonds.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can anybody think of any other service the bank offers?
If you have any issues with your money, or if someone steals your credit card, you can call your bank, but they block your card so that they.
Some of them have overdraft protection. If you have a checking account and you're overdrawn, they'll take it out of your savings, or they'll put it on your credit card or debit card or something other. Well, when they put it on your debit card, if you're overdrafted, but, they have overdraft protection. All right, all of your banks, most of them, I know you alls do, they have currency exchange.
Yeah.
All right, now, did y'all bring in euro dollars over here?
So my Serbian bank has an option. I have two accounts since we use two currencies in the country. So one account that I have is for euros and dollars. What's it called? I can't remember. There's a name for that account, like a special name. And then there's my normal account, which is just Serbian dinners. So I cannot put euros on my normal account, so I don't even use that one.
Right.
But the other one is very cool because you can put Serbian dinners and they will exchange it, but I wouldn't recommend that because the banks are very evil when it comes to exchanging money. So I usually go and I take dinners when I need to, or my mom, when she sends me money here. She goes, she exchange dinners in, because in Serbia, you have those shops everywhere. So you exchange dinners for dollars, for example, and she can put it on that account.
Okay.
But if you just have a regular account, you cannot do that. You can't, like, if you put euros on your account, it's gonna transfer to dinners right away, and then you can't use it in America.
Did you bring any euro dollars to this country?
Yes. I mean, in my card is the same as her. You can exchange from euros to.
On your card?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have both.
Okay. Anyway, banks will give you a certified check. You're going out early to buy a car, whatever, take a certified check, means they got that money to cover that check. They'll give traveler's checks, they'll cash money orders, they'll make money orders, they'll exchange currency. Now, they also have bookkeepers that will help you balance your checkbook if you need to. Now, banks got into all kind of financial stuff. My financial advisor is a banker with Wells Fargo, and he invests some of my money in stocks and some of my money in bonds or what have you. So they're in the act of investing. Now, if they give you an automobile loan, they'll sell you disability insurance or life insurance. And if they repossess land, then they're in the business of selling land. And they usually have an appraiser that can go out and appraise land when they give them a mortgage. And if they repossess an automobile, they're going to sell that automobile. Okay? Now, some of the common things they have is online banking, 24-hour banking, ATM banking that is. They have drive-through windows. That's a service they offer. It's convenient to sit in your car and do your banking. And they also give out doggy treats. Okay? Or suckers. Okay? But now some banks, Morgan, they have started giving out doggy treats.
I think that First Community.
Do they? Okay. Other people have a little doggy with them, I guess, wherever they go. But, and banks, they cooperate in other matters. A lot of high school students have car washes at banks. I taught economics for a community college, and I used the bank's conference room one night a week to teach that class for space. So they're good about small business loans and small business planning. So they have some good advisors, most banks do. Okay. Now, the little gal that's not here tonight, she took the test, last test too. Terry, she works as a loan officer at one of the local banks. She's already moved up to loan officer. And she's doing well. Now, one of our accounting majors, I don't know if you all know Lycle or not. Lycle is real smart, good student, Afro-American young man. And I took them one year to a CPA luncheon, and I got them to join the Junior Society of CPAs in West Virginia. He went to Charleston to a job fair, and he filled out forms for 2 or 3 CPA firms. We got a call from one, and he's going to work up in Marietta, Ohio. You ever been to Marietta? It's up 77. Go through Charleston, I guess, and you bypass Parkersburg or what have you. But anyway, there's a big bridge over the river that separates Ohio and West Virginia. And that's where Marietta, Ohio is. But he graduates in December, he goes to work January 2nd, and he don't have a CPA degree, he's only gonna have an accounting degree, and they're starting him off in the 40,000, which is not bad to start off. Now, he is an eager beaver. He will take his extra courses to set for a CPA. He'll probably have his CPA in about 3 years. And in about 5 years, I predict he'll be a partner in that firm. And he'll be making in 5 years, 80 to 100,000. So that's not bad. And I believe, Millie said if you were to serve him on $1,000 a month and live pretty darn good. Is that correct? Yeah. So, but anyhow, so cash and services a bank offers, and they offer some I haven't mentioned or couldn't think of. You receive cash from customers, and you cash, and you receive accounts receivable cash. Over-the-counter sales is a cash register. That does help. But now if you want to, if I were working at a store and I knew there was not a camera over my head and I wanted to steal money, Morgan comes in and buys something for like $40, and anyhow, maybe I've got a calculator there, I can figure it up. I can tell Morgan the cash register is not open. Now I can open to give her change, but I don't ring up that $40 purchase. If I don't ring it up, I can put that $40 in my pocket and don't show up on the cash register. Right? That probably could be done at McDonald's too, but you have a camera and there's so many that are working close together, that probably helps too. Yeah. And how about merchandise inventory at McDonald's? Anybody ever steal any Big Macs?
Oh, we've had a.
I mean, really, they steal the buns or the meat or whatever?
Not since I've, well, I mean, like, people just taking food, of course, they let go, that happens, but not people that do our truck, got cameras on them too, for bringing in merchandise, but of course, in other locations, I've heard of some stories.
They steal the meat before it's cooked, right? And the buns before they're made into burger. But you said they stole food too, they'll steal a Big Mac?
If a worker gets caught taking food, then they could let go of it.
Okay. All right. So if somebody starts gaining weight, you start watching them.
Yeah.
All right, cash sales. Now you start out a cash register so much money, you start yours out with so much money, 200, and different size bills or denominations. Now, if you get too much money, it's cash over. If you get too little money, it's cash short, okay? And you'd make a journal entry for that. If it's short, it's like an expense debit. If it's over, it's credit. Now, for $35,000, $22 short's not too bad, is it? On a good Saturday, do you deposit your money daily? On a good Saturday at the store you work at, I'm just going to guess you take in $5,000 to $10,000.
I don't do nightly deposits, I just do the day ones, and a good Saturday would be around 4,000.
A good day would be 4,000, then you still got the night to go. So it's going to be between 5 and 10. Okay. I don't know that. I'm just a lucky guesser. My son will tell me he bought something. I don't know the price of it. And I'll say, you gave $48 for that? Well, how'd you know? My brother used to buy a vehicle. He had a car lot. He'd buy a vehicle at auction, and he'd tell me what he got. I'd say what he paid for it. And he said, how'd you know? Okay, cash over and short. Now, electronic fund transfer, is your paycheck deposited for you? McDonald's actually write you out a paycheck?
It's paper checks, they don't do direct deposit.
You get a paper check, okay. Most people do direct deposit.
Yeah.
Electronic transfer is what we're talking about. And that's another thing a bank does. The electronic transfer, it's called wiring funds from you to your cousin in another state. Okay? Millie, do you have anything automatically taken out of your bank account?
Yeah, I have
Subscription?
phone bill, Netflix, just some subscriptions.
You talking about magazine subscriptions?
No, like, what's that called? Like, you know what Netflix is? Like,
Netflix?
Netflix, like a streaming app for movies.
Yeah, yeah, there's so much of that on there. iTunes,
Yeah, well, I pay for that too.
yeah, it comes out on electronic transfer usually. Netflix, I have life insurance taken out. I have home security taken out, automatic electronic transfer.
And I have, just some subscriptions, nothing special.
Okay, you don't have to tell us you subscribe to Playgirl. Anyway, well, at least you knew what it was. All right, and you have automatic deposits to go in, okay? Now, banks for a business may collect a note or notes receivable. Now, electronic transfer funds are great unless you get hacked. Credit cards are great unless you get hacked. Now, banks make mistakes. And if you call the bank, they made a mistake, they blame it on the computer. A voucher system is just an approval thing. You take a voucher to your president, and he approves it, and then you pay it, or the treasurer, or what have you. So we won't talk about that much now. Now, using a bank account and having a canceled check is good proof that a bill has been paid. But now here's what I want you to look at is a bank statement. All right, Morgan, you have a bank account. Do you do a bank reconciliation every month? Well, why?
Like to check what my purchases and stuff. I mean, I do that daily through the app.
But when you write out a check out of your checkbook for $2.98, you just round that off to $3. You would? You just round off. You're not supposed to round off when you're talking about money. $2.51, not $3.
What's in my account? Like if I want to minus it in my head, then I would round up so I don't undershort.
Some people do that to have extra money. Okay, here is a statement. This is hardly ever around anymore. Your check is an automatic clearinghouse, but banks do make errors, and it's probably a human error. Now, computers make errors when they got a virus, don't they? If the computer's got a bad enough virus, it may add 2 and 3 and get 10. But computers do not make mistakes. Service charge, bad checks, miscellaneous. Has anybody ever written out a bad check? No? Nobody writes out bad checks? If you have override protection. You know, I had a day student, he got $10 worth of gas. He wrote a check for it. It missubtracted or automatic transferred in his bank account. All right. He got $10 worth of gas. That was probably 3.5 gallons. All right. They didn't have the funds in there. The bank charged him $25. The business charged him $25. So he ended up paying $60 for a 3-gallon gas. So I taught marketing in high school, and my students had to work at a retailing job. They got out at 12 o'clock every day, and I did too. So I could go check on them or talk to their supervisor. And a young lady, I put her at it was right there at school. She didn't have transportation. So there was a Tasty Freeze right near the high school. So she went to work at a Tasty Freeze. So people will pull all kinds of tricks on you. This man came in there and bought, at that time, a hamburger and a Coke would cost about $2. And he came in there and bought a hamburger and Coke. Well, he started talking to her about the owner. The owner was the manager. And asked what the owner was doing and blah, blah, called him by name. So she thinks she's talking to the owner's friend, right? He writes her out a check. She takes it. But the check was written in pencil. That's a no-no. Don't take a check written in pencil. The check was dated 2030. That's a no-no. Check the date on a check. It was a counter check with no tracking number on it or no check number. That's a no-no. But he wrote that check out for $50. She gave him back $48. All right, so he got $48 free money and $2 hamburger and Coke. But now here was his signature, and this is really what I fussed at that student about. She didn't even read his signature. Here it is. You've been took. And he did take her for $48. All right, so you even have to watch checks, don't you? Do you all take checks at McDonald's? All right, now here's what I want you to look at. We've got 15 minutes to practice one. So for next week, if you're out there viewing tonight, or if you're not viewing tonight, I mean, some other time this week, this is for Arthur. I know he watches every one of these. But anyhow, read chapter 8 well. All right. And I want you to do some of the exercises at the end of chapter 8. For next week, I want you to do exercise 23. And 22. And 2A and 3A. I want you to have those problems worked. Now, I want you to look at a certain page right now. Try page 425. Well, that's not the page. Try page 427. And look at exercise 16. Can you read that little exercise, 16? And do me a real quick bank reconciliation. Now, you're not looking for the bank's balance. Here's the bank balance. Now, deposits in transit, if you made a deposit last night, it would not show up on a statement today, would it? It's called a deposit in transit. You probably won't have any miscellaneous. Now, deductions is outstanding checks, a bad NSF check, and a service charge. All right, you've got to begin a balance. All right, just a minute. All right, here's the bank reconciliation. I want to show you one with numbers. Here is a bank reconciliation. I probably won't have you do this. We'll run out of time. But when you do these for homework, take the bank balance, add a deposit not yet received by the bank, deduct outstanding checks, and get the bank balance of $2630.99. And then on your books, you start off with your balance, you add a note, you deduct a bad check, and you deduct the service charge, and you deduct an error for some check that you wrote out or transposed. And your balance then has to equal the bank's balance. I mean, your bank balance and your book balance don't equal. You will find a different figure that both do equal. So try those between now and next week. Does anybody need a few minutes break? Do you need 5-minute break before you start the test? All right, take a 5-minute break if you wish. And I will stop recording in a minute.